This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Well, we got a viral video for you. Right. And this dad, Julian, very proud of his kid. He's got his kid sitting on his lap eating berries, and the baby's name is AJ, and she's encouraging baby AJ to say mama, which is, okay. But when the kid says mama, well, he sounds a bit like a demon.
AJ, come to say mama?
Mama. Mama. Mama.
Wait a second. That's actually the kid?
That's the kid, and he's a little baby-looking kid. So I thought, man, that kid sounds older than he is. But
like
the video there he is.
Yeah, is that?
Yeah, he's a baby. I mean, and he is. Wow, he's saying "mama," but he's saying it like like 666.
I have a friend, they taught their kid, I think he was maybe 1 or 2 years old, and he would come up behind you and he'd go, "I'm Batman," in that voice.
Yeah, that would freak me out if I wasn't expecting that, and all of a sudden I'm just chilling on the couch and some weird little kid, or some cute little kid, sorry.
Right. Well, like, they had told me that he does that, but I hadn't seen it till the end of the night. He did that. It freaked me out, but it was amazing.
Can we hear that kid again?
Yeah.
I can't believe that's a child. They
say he's a baby, so I think he's got to be a year at most. If because you don't call a 2-year-old a baby. They're toddlers at that point.
Yeah.
But AJ, come to say mama?
Mama. Mama. Mama.
Wow.
Mama.
At what point do you just call the priest?
Yeah. I mean, the kids usually have a higher pitched voice than that. What the hell?
Yeah, it's all cute until he's hovering over you with a knife like Chucky.
Yeah. No, you don't call a priest. You call like a vocal coach so he could be the next metal star. Make money.
Yeah, I mean, Disturbed at some point are going to need a new lead singer. I mean,
right.
Yeah, Dave Draymond can only do it for so long, BJ.
Got to train this kid well. I mean, and I do like that better than him. I'd rather him with a mic in his hand rather than a knife in his hand is a better image for me.
Yeah, like Tatum, she likes to, she's been mimicking Lulu, but it's still not on that level of demonic. But every once in a while, she'll be going around going, like that. And we don't know if she's happy or sad until we see her face, if she's smiling or if she's got the pouty look. She uses it for both ways. I'm just like,
oh.
But all of a sudden, you're just chilling out and you just hear, rah! And I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on? And I realize, she's trying to do an impression of Lulu because when we play with Lulu, she growls.
Well, again, her father's really good at animal impressions, so it only makes sense that she's following your footsteps. There you go.
All right, you know what? Yeah. In the next few weeks, I'm going to try and get her to do a goat sound.
Nice.
Oh, I think you could get this done.
Okay. Do I have a timeline? When can I pull this off by?
Well, I'll give you a week. I think a week should be enough training for her.
1 week. 1 week.
Wow.
Easy. You got all weekend to do it?
I was thinking I'd get a month. Okay.
So a month?
No, fine. Okay. By what? By next Friday or by next Wednesday? What are we doing?
Listen, whatever. I'll give you till Friday. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll give you to this Friday. There you go.
This is going to be awesome when my wife comes home from whatever she's doing and I'm sitting with Tatum and I'm just going, trying to get her to do it with my video.
Yeah. Yeah, she sticks her tongue out, doesn't she, already?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
of course,
she's
that's
got
no big-
half of it covered.
She does.
Yeah. So I think, you know what, I think that's well within her range since she's already got the barking, right? So it's in her range. You're not asking her to do something that's way over her abilities.
Right. Like, I mean, right now it's a struggle for her to say grandma, but I think I can get her to do a goat sound.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know she was trying to do the grandma.
She says ma.
Well, still ma something.
Yeah.
And she's like her dad. Didn't you say ma when you gave your wife the ring when you proposed to her? I think you said,
Come on, dude. No, I said here.
Oh, here.
Yeah, he at least said
it was a
full
grunt
word.
of some sort.
I'm
You
an
know,
adult, BJ.
I totally,
I know
my
how to
bad.
speak.
Yeah. Well,
Mostly.
Good.
yeah.
Or gooder than most.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 1 in every 5 children killed in traffic crashes in the U.S. was a pedestrian. That's why 3M is working alongside local governments and NGOs to help improve crosswalk visibility and traffic markings in school zones, in a worldwide initiative to provide kids with a safe walk to school and access to the education they deserve. To learn more and take action, visit 3m.com/schoolzonesafety. 3M Science. Applied to life.
New on Curiosity Stream, the Arctic, frigid, desolate, unforgiving. And without canine companions, early humans never stood a chance. Discover how man and dog learn to thrive together where neither could survive alone in Ice Dogs. Plus,
why would a Nazi major be protecting and saving Jews?
Against orders, against time, the SS major that sheltered and saved thousands of Jews. It's the good Nazi. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. BuzzFeed readers recently shared their good and bad celebrity encounters.
Oh, these are always fun.
Right.
Yeah. We'll start with the good ones.
Okay.
Yeah. So, of course, you know Tom Hanks is going to be on the list because Tom is always cool to everybody.
I was going to say,
And,
if you just had stories about good and bad encounters, and one of the celebrities is Tom Hanks, which side do you think he goes on? I think 100 out of 100 people would say he's on the good side.
Yeah, right.
No one ever
Yeah.
says anything bad about Tom Hanks.
I haven't heard it, that's for sure. He was seen actually helping a local Girl Scout troop sell cookies, which, I mean, come on.
I would buy so many
I know, there you
cookies
go.
from
See?
Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah. Well, I buy so many cookies anyway, but then, you know, Tom Hanks gives me a reason. You know, I mean,
I don't know why I'm
it's-
picturing Tom
I would buy
Hanks in
so many-
a Girl Scout costume.
Well, now I can't unsee that. Thank you.
It just seems like Tom
Yeah, I'm
Hanks
not
would
sure.
do something like that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you know, like bosom buddies back in the day. Why not?
yeah.
You know, Carrie Fisher actually on the good side. She's on the light side of the force. That makes sense.
You know, I knew nothing about Carrie Fisher, obviously, other than Star Wars, but from her Twitter alone, like, she was always entertaining on Twitter. I was like, she always came off like she was a good person.
And she was one of the first people I remember to really start talking about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
She struggled a lot, and she talked about it. So I have a lot of love for Carrie for many, many reasons. And she was at a book signing at and a Star Wars fan said, "I love you," and she replied with the classic, "I know," which was Han's line to her when she said, "I love you." Yeah, from I think episode 5, the best one.
That Empire Strikes Back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just like to say that because then Rev had to agree, and I know he hates that episode.
Well, I don't hate it, but
You
it's
don't think
clearly
it's the
not the
best.
best. Yeah, no, The Last Jedi is.
Yeah, don't.
Last
He's just
Jedi?
trolling.
Not even the
He's just
Return?
trolling. Don't let
Yeah,
Rev catch
I'm
you because
sorry.
he is massively trolling.
I thought we
You
all
know,
agreed. It was
believe me.
the Ewoks Christmas
Yeah.
movie and then Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, wait, you're right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's massively trolling. Steve Carell on the good side.
Also, could believe that.
I haven't heard any bad stuff about Steve Carell either, as a matter of fact.
I got to, when I did the Anchorman, I got to, was lucky enough to be flown out to L.A. to do interviews with them when that movie came out. And Steve Carell was one of the guys I got to interview in like a random hotel room because they bounce you around from hotel room to hotel room. That was where they did the interviews. And he was so nice. Yeah, like
this is before The Office, right? I think because Anchorman was before The Office. Pretty sure.
I think you're right.
This is. I mean, outside of the Daily Show, I think this is the first I'd ever really seen much of Steve Carell.
I think you're right. And like him, and honestly, they were all great except for Christina Applegate, whatever. But I mean, him, Will Ferrell, and Keckner and Paul Rudd could not be nicer. I think they were all just so amped and geeked out about the movie that they were just like in good spirits.
And Keckner,
we've had David Keckner in studio.
Keckner's rad.
So nice.
Yeah, and really follows through on his stuff. I mean, David Keckner said he was going to send us stuff, autograph stuff, and people say things all the time. He did. He really ended up having bonded well with Sarah because they both have crooked mouths. Keckner was fantastic. Anything David does, I know, but I thought for sure when Sarah brought that up to David Keckner, you got a weird mouth like I do. I thought, this is going to be horrible. He's going to hate us. And he was just like so awesome. Great. One of the, I got to remember that because people say, who's your favorite guest? He ranks up there as one of my favorite guests on the show.
Absolutely.
Just because like you said, Steve, such a good dude.
Crooked Mouth crew right there.
The Crooked Mouth crew. Steve Carell, David Keckner's, co-guest star in Anchorman, brought coffee and donuts to the hospital staff whenever he visited a family member. Oh, nice. Man. You know what? I love it. See, you bring coffee and donuts to where I work. You are the king. No matter where I am, it is the universal, I love you, thank you.
Well, and then it's also Steve Carell walking in with them. And you just got to be like, this is pretty rad that we have Steve Carell handing us donuts.
Yeah. Robin Williams is on the good list. Another person who, we unfortunately lost because of mental health issues, and a lot of us didn't know. So, he's to me the poster child for why we have to talk about mental health and keep getting it out there. On the last day of filming Dead Poets Society, he came into an auditorium with the 400 extras and entertained the kids for a solid 20 minutes. Wow. Oh, so I guess there was a lot of kids in that movie.
Dead Poets Society. That was a school. The movie was based in a school. Yeah. So yeah, I can understand why there was a lot of kids around.
But you have extras, like, and you're an extra. You don't have any speaking lines a lot of time. You're surely not like the royalty of the movie business. And for Robin Williams to come out and like just hang with you and entertain you like that, wow, that's pretty awesome.
No, it sounds like an awesome. There's so many stories about Robin Williams. We've had listeners share stories of them running into him, and you never heard anyone say that he was disrespectful or rude to anybody.
Snoop Dogg is on this list.
On the good side?
On the good side.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Is he passing out free joints for everyone?
Yeah. I don't, it was an uncle and his niece, so probably not.
Oh, yeah, probably not then.
But here's what happened.
The nieces. I mean, if they're over age, hook them up with the weed.
All right, listen, I know you guys want this to be about weed, but it's not about weed. He was actually doing a non-weed nice thing. An uncle said that his niece's hearts were broken after Snoop's assistant denied them photos. So when Snoop heard that, he, quote, said, "Snoop don't break any girls' hearts," and took a pic with the girls.
That's cool. Because I think about my one experience with Snoop Dogg. I did have my heart broken, but I was no girl, so I guess he didn't do anything about it.
Yeah,
but it was the time where like he showed up to a pot shop, and I was there as well hosting this event. And the whole idea was like he was going to do an interview with me there as well. So I had all the interview stuff all set up. He walks out with his crew. And he had this one guy who I'll never forget with this like red velour jumpsuit where he didn't even have the jacket on. He had it over his shoulders. Not Snoop, but it's his assistant or it's his bodyguard. Had it over his shoulders like a cape. And a white tank top. And he was rubbing his belly. And he just looks at me and goes, "What are you doing here?" And he says, "Get the F out of here." And I was like, okay. Then find out. Like, he was just like, "What do you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be doing the interview." He's like, "Maybe later." And I'm like, okay. And he's rubbing his belly the entire time. I could not stop looking at him rub his belly. I'm like, this guy is just striking fear in my heart, and he's not doing anything other than rubbing his belly.
Yeah, you're right, Steve. If somebody's rubbing their belly, giving me like an anger look, I'm like, I don't want this to be a deliverance moment. I am out.
When your first impression is him looking and going, "Who the F are you?" And I'm like, nobody.
Yeah. Who the F are you? Yeah. Who am I? I am out. out the door. That's who I am. I'm out of your way, sir. That's who I am.
Snoop didn't overhear any of that. Didn't try and make up for it. And
Yeah,
never got the
that's too
picture.
bad.
Never got the interview.
Because
It
I'm
was
sure,
very sad.
I'm sure he would have said, "Hey, you know what, Snoop, don't break any Steve's heart. You know, I'll do the interview." All right, so we got the bad list, and I'm going to give you names, and you're not going to be surprised.
Okay.
You're just not going to be surprised. Some maybe. There's one on the list I am surprised about, but not this one. Alec Baldwin. I don't think anybody would be surprised that Alec Baldwin is on the bad list for celebrity encounters.
He calls someone a pig or something like that?
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't it only with his daughter?
You are a rude, thoughtless little pig, okay?
Yeah. Oh, that does not age well, by the way. When we first played, those have to be, over 5 years old. And the more you hear them as we get going in society, they're horrible.
I am going to get on a plane, and I'm going to straighten your ass out. Do you understand me?
Wow, that was 2007.
Okay, so this is Father of the Year, 14 years ago.
I'm going to
Wow.
really make sure you get it.
I don't see what's wrong with any of this, guys.
Yeah, this is, boy, the more we realize the proper way to parent children, the less that these pieces of audio are.
You have insulted me for the last time.
So not just his kids that he's rude to.
Yeah.
Well, that's good
yeah.
to hear.
Don't try to pet his dog. Apparently, he yelled at a kid trying to pet his dogs. Alec Baldwin was not happy.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he yelled at someone because they were playing Words with Friends on the plane with him. He
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
happy about that. Yeah, he's had some issues.
It's again.
But in all fairness, was he worried for the kid's safety? Did he say, "Hey, get away," because he was worried that his dog might bite the kid? Because some kids don't even come up to you and say, "Hey, may I pet your dog?" They just come up and try and touch your dog, and not every dog handles that very well.
Look, Steve, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to give Alec the benefit of the doubt, even though what you're saying is reasonable. I want to hate the man.
Fair.
I want to hate the man, so I'm going to say no. He was being a jerk.
Yeah, he's a jerk.
Gwyneth Paltrow, who I really, really want to like her, but boy, she's just, she's very eccentric.
Why do you want to like her? She's terrible.
Because she played Pepper Potts. And
She's
you know
in a
what?
Marvel movie. He doesn't want to hate her.
Yeah, I don't want to hate her because I really love
why.
I loved her and Tony's relationship. So I really, I liked her in Shallow Hal. I like her movies. I have no issue with Gwyneth Paltrow, except she is definitely quirky, odd, and doesn't come out on the positive side of quirky odd.
I feel like every story we used to read about her on the pop station I worked on was just terrible.
She just sounded like an awful human being.
Yeah,
I know,
and judgy and everything of all of the above. It's like
I'm glad Chris Martin got away from her.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, apparently she did not. She did not tip for her kids' 8-week summer camp that workers made $5 an hour at. Oh, that's not a good look. I didn't know you're supposed to tip at summer camp, but I feel like if you're a celebrity of her status, you pretty much got to tip everywhere. Just so that stories like this don't come out.
Yeah, but like you said, I wouldn't have ever guessed that to leave a tip for a summer camp thing. But I've never been to a summer camp. I don't know what the protocol is. But when we go to Little Gym, we're not giving the employees tips. Granted, it's only a 1 hour experience once a week. But
yeah, I really don't know the protocol.
Works.
But still,
how does she know that someone makes $5 an hour?
Well, you should know that they're not making a lot of money. You can go to a lot of places and realize, okay, this is minimum wage or less. Now, $5 an hour. I don't know how long ago this took place, but that's insane if they're not making. You got to make more than that in life. But
look, I'm all for crapping all over Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm not opposed to that. But this one, I don't know, man. Unless I see, unless you saw everybody was doing it, or
it says a $200 lunch, so maybe there were servers there, and maybe you're supposed to serve.
I thought you said it was a summer camp.
Oh no, you know what? I'm looking at the wrong one. You're right. It was a summer camp. Okay. Well, I actually gave you. I spoiled the next one. Sorry.
Fair. Yeah, I don't know with that one. I wouldn't have guessed that you're supposed to tip the employees there. It's cool that people do. Now I know if I ever do a summer camp thing, I gotta tip them.
Right. I'm with you, Steve. I didn't know either. But I just know as a celebrity, if you're at her status, I think you just gotta, whenever you send your kids anywhere that where people are serving them in some way, shape, or form, and they know you're there, I feel like you gotta always just tip. I feel like it's just the cost of doing business as a celebrity. At least that's my brain.
Someone says, "Are we surprised that a woman who made a candle that smells like her hoo-ha is rude to someone?"
Oh, come on. And then, of course, in some cases that candle exploded.
Now we know why.
The exploding hoo-ha. Oprah. Now, this one really surprises me. I haven't heard a lot. I haven't heard it. I don't know if I've heard any bad stories about Oprah, to be honest with you, but this one is. Apparently she didn't tip on a $200 lunch, but instead left her autograph on a napkin and made the worker feel like they should be grateful.
What a What? That is like such a baller thing to do. Like, my autograph is worth so much that you're going to get more for this than my tip. Which, in a weird way, if that person put it on eBay, I bet they'd get more than $200.
I actually don't think I'd be mad about that one. I'd be like, I'm going to sell this for a lot more than she would probably tipped.
Yeah, I'd like. Can I get a picture of you signing this napkin? Because I feel like I could get something for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does an autograph go for on eBay, I wonder?
I don't know. It's not a good look.
No,
I'm
you
sorry.
look like a pompous ass.
Yeah, it's not a good look at all.
Hey, here's my autograph. That's better than $200.
If I'm Stedman in that, and I don't know if Stedman was at that lunch, but I mean, I don't know if he's, if he actually can, basically go, Oprah, come on, or not, or if Stedman's like, you know what, I like my house that I'm living in, my little guest house, never mind.
I mean, some of her autograph books are going for about $200, and an autographed 8x10 is like $70-something. So
that's see, to me,
she needs to step it up. A napkin's not going to get her
No.
$70.
Not at all.
Yeah, she sucks.
Yeah. So there you go. Those are the people that are nice and not so nice in celebrity encounters. There you go. And of course, the famous one, Billy Joel to a little boy named Steve.
F off, kid.
That's still the famous one and the best one.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I know if bankruptcy is going to provide me with relief? What are the steps for my situation?
There's so much information out there about bankruptcy with the internet and what people have heard from friends and other people that they've talked to about their financial issues or bankruptcy. There's also a lot of bad information out there or urban legends about bankruptcy. In order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you need to talk to an attorney that's experienced in bankruptcy. So in order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you should talk to an experienced bankruptcy attorney. And my job is not to convince you to file bankruptcy. My job is to help you to make that decision and have all the facts so that you can make an informed decision about whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, what benefits it's going to have for you, and what the downside of filing bankruptcy is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.